Another tier list. Yes, another tier list, but this is Harley Quinn characters ranked. This is like the one big animated DC show other than Teen Titans that I haven't gotten around to do a tier list for. I did them for the DCAU heroes and villains. I did them for the DCAU shows. I did a couple DCAU ones. Did them for DC animated movies, Young Justice, and The Batman. Okay, Batman Brave and the Bold is another one, I guess, but I would need to rewatch that series before I actually made a video on it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So, I'll just start with these lesser knowns. Like, I don't even know who she is. Maxie Zeus is an F tier as well. Neither of them are good characters. This is just like a reporter talk show chick. Maxie Zeus is in one episode, and he's just plot, basically. I'll put her in D tier. I mean, Queen of Fables, what she can do is pretty cool. Her as a character, not a lot of depth. Catwoman, I'll put in a C. I mean, I don't know. I feel like some people probably love her character, but I just don't. She's like the rich, bratty girl, basically. Like, oh, I get everything. I'm so cool. I'm Catwoman. Lex. See, we're progressively getting better. I'm going to put him in B tier. If he was used more, he'd probably be higher, but outside of the Legion of Doom stuff, not really used that much, and that was like a big thing over the course of a couple episodes, but after that, it kind of died down. Season 2, Lex is pretty irrelevant, from what I remember at least. Aquaman, I'll put him in the D tier as well. He's only in one episode. Not bad in that episode, but still, need to see more of him. Superman, I'll put in the C tier. I mean, it's Superman. Need to see more of him as well, but we've seen a bit more of him than Aquaman. Not a super memorable character for Superman. Wonder Woman, on the other hand, I mean, I don't think she's super memorable either, but probably slightly more memorable than Superman just because of the whole Dr. Psycho thing, what he said to her. So this is actually hard. I don't think I can put her on the same level as Lex. Just because, I mean, the Justice League, the main thing they've done is just disappear, right? I'll put her above Catwoman, though. That's the main thing they've done, though. I'll do that as well. And, okay. Batman. Okay, we'll put him in A tier for now. We may come back, and he may go up to the S tier, but Diedrich Bader is back. Of course, he voiced Batman in Batman, the Brave and the Bold. Just a really great choice for this kind of Batman. He was phenomenal in Brave and the Bold, just fit the character, how he was written in that show. He's also great in this because he works as a kind of joke Batman, yet he's still Batman at his core. Just Diedrich Bader, you gotta love him. Now, Damian. I'm gonna put Damian in the V tier, okay? What he's been in has been pretty funny. The season 2 premiere, he dressed up as Batman, and that was pretty hilarious to see. Just, Damian's so short, and he's somehow managed to put the Batman costume on. Alfred, also gonna put him in the B tier. Just Alfred's little snarky remarks, which kind of accustomed to with Alfred. That's definitely what this Alfred is, just kind of snarky, smart remarks towards Bruce, and they're always pretty funny. At least, they're usually not stupid, which is a pretty great thing to say about this type of show. Now, Barbara. I'm going to put her in the C tier. I just don't care for her so far. I mean, I don't think she's really done much other than be a side character, kind of like all of them, really. And, I mean, Robin's a side character, too, but he's a good side character. I mean, they're all side characters, but at least these three, Lex, Robin, and Alfred, kind of feel like they get their own moments. They got some memorable moments, like Lex. I don't know what the fuck explosions are, Bane. I don't know, that's a memorable line to me, and Robin's just, hey, Dad, when can I start having sex? And he's like, I hear the bat signal. Just memorable stuff like that. She doesn't really have one of those. I think her most memorable moment is probably when she's talking to Jim, like when she's like, oh, Harley Quinn's taking over the world. She's got an army. Or maybe the college episode, which is like my least favorite episode. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to Jim. I think I'm gonna put Jim in the A tier. He's like the most depressed character in the show, but they use that to their advantage, and using depression and addiction as a topic of humor can be like kind of a risky move, but they do it so well that, yeah, you know he's these things, but also they're not playing it as a joke in a bad way. And just drunk Jim having this like relationship with Batman because he's like, this is filling that void that I'm missing with my wife. It's like, it's so sad. It gives this character depth, but it's funny at the same time. Just, it's perfect for an adult cartoon like this. Scarecrow. I'm going to put him in the B tier, okay? I love the English accent. That's pretty much it. I just love his voice, and it fits so well. That's too many adjectives. Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze. I'm going to put him in the C tier, as well as... Nah... I think I'm going to have to put them in the B tier. They have more to do than Scarecrow, and they're both pretty much equally as good. I'd say a little better than Scarecrow. I just like Scarecrow's voice so much. I mean, Penguin, not a ton to do. You know, he of course ends up getting killed. Same with Mr. Freeze, sadly. Mr. Freeze actually gets some emotional depth, which is really great. And I'm going to put him there. I'm going to put Penguin there. Okay. I'm going to put Alfred above Damien. I'm going to put Alfred above Lex, actually. I like Alfred. Now, the Riddler. Also B tier. Above all these guys, though. I don't love this version of the Riddler, but it's also not a bad version of the Riddler. I think it's really funny when he's staying trapped in Harley Quinn's headquarters, or whatever you want to call that place. You know, the team's headquarters. He's just like in the giant hamster wheel, and he gets jacked because literally all he has to do is work out. He's like, yeah, y'all been feeding me? Y'all got me a workout machine? I'm gonna take advantage. Then he like teams up with Dr. Psycho because Dr. Psycho wants to take over the world, and I don't know. Like, Riddler, hit or miss character in the show, I guess, but overall, not bad. Two-Face. I feel like I need to see a bit more with Two-Face before I put him in that A tier, but overall pretty good character. I don't appreciate how much he roasts Bane, but outside of that, not bad. He's got some funny moments, he's got some good one-liners. Now, to the Bane. To Bane. Bang. Explosions. Perfection. This is entirely for Bane. This is entirely why I made this tier. Because this Bane is so good. He is stupid, yet he is resourceful, and he is a force. It's like all aspects of Bane that we've seen before, like the Batman and Robin Bane, obviously very stupid. Tom Hardy's voice gets made fun of, people think it's funny. They use that to their advantage. He is such a bumbling buffoon sometimes. He's obsessed with explosions. They've been running with that explosions gag. And they need to keep going because it is hilarious and I don't see it not being funny anytime soon. But he's got Tom Hardy's voice. He's kind of dumb like Batman and Robin Bane, but not quite that dumb. And he beat the crap out of Batman, so he is still a force to be reckoned with. Maybe just not as intelligent all the time as what we are accustomed to with Bane at this point. Frank the Plant, I'm putting him in S tier. He is hilarious. I wish he had more to do. They need to make him more of a center point, I think, because he is one of the funniest characters. Just his interactions with everyone within the team is phenomenal. The interactions he's had with Kite Man are great. You sure share a unique relationship. Talking about Kite Man and Ivy's relationship. And speaking of Kite Man, S tier as well. Kite Man, phenomenal in this show. Just, I love how many gags they make great in this show, because Kite Man showing up was obviously a gag, and that involved into a relationship with Ivy that was actually very investing, which was surprising. Now, this dude's name I done forgot, but I'll probably put him... I'll put him above Scarecrow since Scarecrow doesn't do anything. But yeah, I mean, he didn't really do anything for me. Some episodes he was a dick, some episodes he was cool. He kind of grew as a character, which I appreciate. Now, King Shark, also S tier. See, I think he comes the closest to being up here with Bane, but Bane is just on his own level in my opinion. Bane really makes this show. I just want a Bane show. King Shark, I'd also love a King Shark show because how he can go from being kind of innocent-like to just straight up vicious is incredible. He can go from smart to just being brutal. He's really got like such a range as a character, probably maybe the most in the show. Like one moment he is just ripping off heads, fucking freaking killing people left and right. He's running a prison. He's got like a prison gang. He's a leader. He's the big dog in prison. Next moment he's like, I can't say no to my dad. he gets frightened once Humpty Dumpty gets killed. Like, alright, Dr. Psycho. I'm gonna have to put him in the B tier as well. This B tier is getting kind of full, and it's gonna continue to get full. Let's just go ahead and put Clayface in there with him. Now the Clayface acting stuff, okay, you know what? I'm gonna put Clayface in the A tier just because of the episode. That part of him like comes off, and it turns in his hand comes off, and his hand turns into like its own entity, and just the hand of Clayface interacting with Gordon was amazing. It was one of the most funny things in the show. And that hand was just such an innocent little child. I don't know, the whole acting thing though, it can kind of get old, but overall, not bad. And Dr. Psycho, he's a good character at times. Sometimes he can get annoying. His whole thing to take over the world was kind of dumb in my opinion. I'm like, Dr. Psycho, just be cool with yourself, bro. Why do you gotta feel like you gotta take over the world to be noticed? Joker. I'm also gonna put Joker in the B tier. I'll put him in upper B tier, sorta. I don't love this Joker a ton, but also don't hate him. There's not really any version of the Joker I hate, but I think this one works perfectly fine for the show. There are definitely better versions of this character out there, though. And Ivy, going to the S tier. So, I don't know. I'll put her behind King Shark just because I think King Shark offers more comedic relief, and I think primarily the show is a comedy, although there is obviously story, there are relationships, characters growing, everything like that, but it's still, the main priority of the show is to make you laugh, really. So Bane and King Shark are the two characters that do that best for me. Frank does it really well for me as well, but Ivy is probably the character with the most depth, like the most growth throughout this. She's kind of involved in the best storylines. All the big storylines kind of come back to her and Harley. But Ivy, this is probably the most I've ever liked Poison Ivy, which is a huge compliment to the show because I've always thought Poison Ivy was a good character and she had the potential to be a great character in my eyes. Nothing really ever did that for me, except maybe the Arkham games. I think she's great in those. But I love her in this show. And Harley. I don't know what it is about Harley just kind of being like the worst character in her shows, but she kind of is. I don't think she's the worst in this. And I feel the need to put her above the C-list just because it is her show and she's in it more than some of these people as well, but way more than Scarecrow. Well, I say Scarecrow's not in it a lot, but Scarecrow did have a premise focused around the fear toxin and stuff towards the end of season 1. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna put her behind Scarecrow. I like Scarecrow. I like the accent. Harley isn't terrible in the show, but compared to her supporting cast of characters, especially these 3 tiers, Perfection, S, and A, Bane, King Shark, Poison Ivy, Frank the Plant, Kite Man, Gordon, Batman, Clayface, they're all just so much better than her. Like, they're on a completely different level. They are the main characters that kind of make the show, in my opinion. There's obviously little things that make the show. You know, all these characters help make the show in some way, and that's the best thing you can really say about a show like this that has such a broad cast of characters. but they pretty much make all those characters work in their interpretation and what they're going for. So anyway, that is my ranking of at least the main few Harley Quinn characters that we've seen thus far. Let me know yours down in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.